Good evening, everybody, and welcome into the Buckeye Racing Network. I'm Tyler Bentley. Alongside me in the booth, as always, is Tim Henderson. Tim, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing fantastic. How about you guys at home? And how about yourself, Bentley?
I am doing wonderful. We are here at the Cedar Lake Speedway tonight with the SRA Lovejoy Speed Series Pro Late Models. Race number 2 in this 5-race season. $30 on the line to tonight's winner. Hot lap session has been complete. We're about ready to roll into single car qualifying any moment now. I want to welcome everybody in. If this is your first time watching the Buckeye Racing Network, welcome everybody in. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. So, you know, each and every time we go live here on the Buckeye Racing Network, we've got the coverage of the next 4 races in the series. So each and every Tuesday night we'll be live for the remaining 4 races. All right, we've just switched over into qualifying. 3 minutes on the clock. We'll try to show as much coverage we can of each driver as they head out onto the racetrack. Calvin Crawley in the number 99 machine, 10 on our timing and scoring. He's going to come across the line to start his first qualifying lap. A host of drivers on the speedway: Lizzie Smith, James Gray, Trent Dalton, Brent Pryor, Big Mike, Chase Hardy, Corey Stansel, and Kanan Cochran. Dylan Gibbs also on the racetrack. You'll see all of the lap times populate on the left-hand side of the screen. Lap 1 for Calvin Crawley at a 12:87. Let's see if he's able to improve here on lap 2. Lap 2 in the books for Calvin. Not able to improve lap 2. Let's take a look at some of the other cars. Dylan Gibbs in the number 6 machine. Coming across the line now to complete his first of 2 qualifying laps. Dylan goes to 4th on the board for the moment at a 12:88. These drivers are running a custom fixed setup tonight. Lap 2 complete for Dylan Gibbs. And it was the same, so he's going to stay 7th. Ryan Hodge, the 19 machine, just went to the top of the board at a 12:77. Michael Carter just completed his first lap in the 015 machine. Went to position 5 on the board at a 12:80. Lap 2 complete for him. A little slower there on his second lap. James Braswell Jr. across the line there on lap 2 at a 12:79, puts him 4th on the board. Dawson Fletcher, Gavin Gravitt, Jamison Rich, Corey Vlies also on the racetrack. Dawson Fletcher starts his qualifying effort. Lap 1 for Dawson. It's going to be 28th quick at a 13:19. Gavin Gravitt went to 10th on the board at a 12.86. Jamison Rich is lap 1 at a 13 flat. He's 23rd on the board. Dawson Fletcher does improve at a 12.85 up to P11. Cody Vlies coming around to complete his second lap. Can he improve? No, just a little bit slower there. Last driver to take a time, Lucas Rourke. His lap 1 was a 12.79. Went to position 4. Crosses the line with just 7 seconds left to go in our qualifying session. A little bit slower on his second lap, so he's going to take that 12.79 and be P4 here tonight. All right. All zeros on the clock for our qualifying session. Ryan Hodge sets the quick time in the 19 machine. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for our first heat of the night. Row number 1 is going to be our quick qualifier. Ryan Hodge in the 19, then James Braswell Jr. to his outside. Row number 2 is going to be Mason Martinez and Gavin Gravitt. Row number 3 is going to be Dylan Gibbs and Kyle Hardy. Row 4 is going to be Brent Pryor and Big Mike. And row 5 is going to have one driver. That'll be Lizzie Smith in the 24 machine. Nine starters here in heat race number 1. Believe we've got only the top 3 that will transfer directly into our A main a little later here tonight. As all the drivers are lined up behind the pace truck. It looks like we're missing 1. Lizzie Smith has not gridded yet, so only 8 on the grid for now. We'll see if she makes the call. Still got about 35 seconds or so. Anything you're hearing from race control, Tim?
No, I have not heard anything from race control quite yet. It could just be the grid timer not being shortened right now. So as these drivers sit and wait, and I'm sure they get quite eager. Well, what would go through your mind, Bentley, just sitting here?
Maybe a little bit of pre-race nerves. You know, there is a little bit of money on the line tonight, $30 to win. You know, drivers, especially if you're starting a couple rows back in the first heat of the night, you want to try to improve your position. You want to be in that magical top 3 to transfer directly into the A main tonight, not have to worry about the consolation races later. You know, everybody's on that custom fixed setup, so every car is set up exactly the same. It really comes down to driver inputs and stuff. But yeah, just hoping to be in the top 3. And if you're starting in the top 3, I would have to say, you know, you want to stay there. How about yourself, Tim?
Just a whole lot of nerves. Just planning out my moves is the best I can. Especially if you're in the back. It's always nice to have a nice little game plan, especially these guys have raced each other quite a few times before, as they know the tendencies and they're going to look to take advantage of those. We're going to go green right here, as that 19 machine is off and away. That would be my...
Ryan Hodge in the 19. We were 4 wide at one point, Tim, coming out of turn 1. Out of turn 2 on the first lap. 3 wide as there's a little contact there between Dylan Gibbs, and I believe that was the 25 machine of Gavin Gravitt. I believe they touched a little bit. Ryan Hodge got out to the early advantage.
One round, 2 round, 3 round, 4
Still under the green flag. The 6 machine of Dylan Gibbs is stopped. The yellow flag does get displayed for the first time here tonight. We'll go back and take a look at this, decipher it as best we can. We caught it at the edge of the screen. Keep an eye on the 6 machine. Just really, really close battling there right around that transfer spot. We'll slow things down as they enter turn 3. The 6 just got a really good entry to 3 and got underneath the 21 there. They made contact. The 21 gets spun around. The 6 had to check up. The 1 machine had a good run through the center, and he spins the 6 around. The 1 gets close to that outside barrier. And then I believe there's the white and green 25 machine that kind of slid into him, unfortunately trying to get around him. So it looks like 4 cars or so, 5 cars or so involved in the first accident of the night.
Yeah, I apologize for my mistake there. I couldn't figure out which way my camera was going.
It's all good. Lights are out on the pace truck, though. James Braswell had to visit the pit area. He has rejoined the field. Ryan Hodge, Gavin Gravitt, row 1. Mason Martinez, Kyle Hardy, row number 2. Pace truck is off. Green flag back in the air. They cross the line. Just a couple laps to go here in our first heat of the night. Hodge, Martinez, Gravitt in the top 3. Hardy and Britt Pryor on the outside looking in as the white flag is waving, and almost a car getting spun into turn 1. We're going to keep an eye on the transfer spot. The top 2 are away clear, but you got Gravitt and Martinez side by side, and they're spinning across the line. Ryan Hodge, Kyle Hardy, and Gavin Gravitt will transfer. Hodge winning the first heat of the night for the Lovejoy Speed Series. Everybody else from Mason Martinez on back will have to go into the alphabet soup here just a little later on. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for our second heat race of the night. Row number 1 is going to be Carson Rourke in the 05 and Chase Hardy in the 99. Row 2 will be Cody Vlies in the 17 and Joseph Grandy in the 518. Row 3 will be Blaze Baker in the 777 and Matt George in the 23. Row 4 is going to be Jamison Rich in the 033 and James Gray in the 76. Row 5 is going to have one driver. That'll be Nathan Voss in the 21 machine. Again, so the caution laps do count here, so these, you don't want to see a yellow flag if you're a little deeper in the field. You want to be able to get out, get the momentum built up, and pass as many cars as you can. Your 8 laps is not a long time, especially when the caution laps count in the heat race. Pace truck is going to peel off this time. Field in the hands of Carson Rourke in the 05 machine. Pace truck heads for pit road. Rourke steps on the gas. Green flag goes in the air. We're underway in heat race number 2. Top 3 away and cleanly, and then it's side by side for the 5th spot, it looks like. You had Matt George, Blaze Baker were side by side. George goes into P5, Baker back to the 6th spot. Surprisingly, single file for the moment. Uh-oh, be careful. The 33 machine of Jamison Rich hit the tires and collected the 777 of Blaze Baker. We're going to remain under the green for now. Quick check back up front with our leader, Carson Rourke. Couple car length advantage back to Chase Hardy there in the 99. And then they're side by side for the transfer. Joseph Grandy, Coy Vlies. Grandy into 3rd, Vlies back to 4th. 5 to go this time by.
leader's going to have a little bit of lap traffic. I believe that is Blaze Baker, the 77 machine. Looks like the toe is completely knocked out of it. He's crab walking all the way around the track.
I'll tell you what, I know you're watching the lap machine, but we're going to have a battle for the transfer spot, I believe, as Carson Rourke had a little bit of a blink and he is returned. That's good for him. But Joseph Grandy has not been able to put any distance between himself and Cody Blythe. There's just a couple to go in our second heat. Leader Carson Rourke has got that 777 Ablaze Breaker. White flag in the air for him. As he works down the back straightaway and into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Carson Rourke led from the drop of the green in Heat 2, takes the checkered flag. Chase Hardy and Joseph Grandy holds on for the final transfer. Drivers from Coy Vlies on back will have to go into the consolation races. Matt George, Jameson Rich, James Gray, Nathan Voss, Blaze Baker. All non-transferees in our second heat. Take a look at the starting lineup for our third heat race of the night. Row number 1 is going to be Braden Carter in the 005 and Michael Carter in the 015. Row 2 is going to be Travis Anderson in the 45 and Joshua Kunstbeck in the 26. Row 3 is going to be Jarrett Murphy in the 25 and Mason Setting in the 12. Row number 4 is going to be Jared Helms in the 29 and Aaron Roju in the 94. We have 2 Carters in the field here for our third heat of the night. I wonder if there's any relation, those two. Let us know out there in the chat if these 2 drivers are related at all. And Tim, how about you get us going here to kick off our third heat?
Oh boy, you're going to leave me and do this, huh? All right.
Absolutely.
We're going to have Brandon Carter on the inside, Michael Carter on the outside. They are going to lead the rest of the Heat 3 field through 3 and 4 as they both fire immediately, both getting a pretty good launch. One way out wide, that's the 66 machine of Joshua. He's trying to take over that third place position as he does at the line. He's still battling the 45 machine of Travis Anderson, who is rolling that bottom really, really good.
Absolutely. The top 4 kind of separated themselves from the rest. Is it now going to be a 3 wide out of turn 2? Travis Anderson, Jarrett Murphy, Mason Setting were 3 wide for a moment. It's settled down for now, and Anderson has to buckle back in and try to get up there to challenge the 26 of Joshua Kunstbeck. Excuse me, that's the 66 on his race car. In the chat, Roxanne Jones says, the father is Michael and Braden is the son. So the son is leading the dad in the 5 machine, and dad is looking to the inside, going to take a peek down the back straightaway, maybe into 3 here.
Michael better go have someone go in there and turn off the monitor, something.
Yeah, father chasing son here as we come across the line. This time for 2 to go. Braden Carter still leads the way over his dad, Michael. Joshua Kunstbeck's holding on to that final transfer spot. Travis Anderson's under fire from Jarrett Murphy. As they make a little contact, white flag waving. They're going to continue to battle for the 4th spot. We're going to take a look at the battle for the win here. Braden Carter, a little bit of a defensive line through 3 and 4, out of 4 to the line. Braden Carter holds off Michael Carter behind him, and Joshua Kunstbeck, who's going to be the transferees, and then Jarrett Murphy, Travis Anderson, Mason Setting, Aaron Roju, and Jared Helms will go to the consolation races. How about that, Tim? I think that's the first father-son duo we've seen in some time. I think we've had that maybe one time before or so.
Have we? I don't think we have. I know we've had brother.
Yeah, we have, for sure. It could be the first time for a father-son duo on the Buckeye Racing Network. That's really awesome to see. Enjoy seeing that. Here's the starting lineup for our fourth heat race of the night. Row number 1 is going to be Lucas Rourke and Trent Dalton. Row number 2 is going to be Dawson Fletcher and Calvin Crawley. Row 3 is going to be Kanan Cochran and Braden Tuttle. Row 4 is going to be Corey Stansel and Jason Smith. All right, remember folks, the top 3 is the number you want to be in. And if you're behind that, you definitely want to get there as quickly as you can. We've already seen 3 heat races go by in the blink of an eye. This is number 4.
Some interesting schemes in this field.
Absolutely. Lucas Rourke steps on the gas. Green flag in the air for our heat race number 4. Rourke all the way around the outside, getting that momentum wound up in his machine as he squirts out to a couple car length advantage over Trent Dalton in the 2. Dalton has got a earful with Calvin Crawley behind him there in the 99. Dawson Fletcher as well in the 71. Look at Crawley with the move out of turn 2 into turn number 3. Oh man, that almost worked. He's going to try something, maybe a big time slider in 1 and 2. He is going to pull it off, but the 2 machine of Dalton with the crossover down the back straightaway and fends off that 4 now as they're going to continue to cross each other over and throw sliders at one another, I believe, as we continue to click laps off. Crawley tried it again through 1 and 2 there, Tim, and it just didn't stick.
Yeah, he just didn't get enough speed. Well, he had plenty of speed, but the 2 matched him going in momentum-wise, and there just wasn't enough difference.
Absolutely. Out front, Lucas Rourke over a second advantage as he works down the back straightaway here. Plenty clear of the rest of the field. Trent Dalton, Calvin Crawley in the transfer spots. Dawson Fletcher is the first driver on the outside looking in. He is within striking distance, but only a lap and a half left to try something. Does he have anything for the Calvin Crawley or Trent Dalton machine? White flag already in the air. Lucas Rourke stretching the advantage just a little bit more here. So he's going to continue to use the outside out of turn 4. Checkered flag waving. Lucas Rourke wins heat race number 4. Trent Dalton, Calvin Crawley are the other 2 transfer cars. Dawson Fletcher, Kanan Cochran, Corey Stansel, Braden Tuttle, and Jason Smith will go to the consolation races. All right, looks like we're going to be our first consolation race of the night. Tim, is this going to be the C main?
This is the C main. Top 5 will advance to the B main.
All right, let's take a look at the starting lineup for our C main. Quite a host of drivers here in the C main. Row number 1 is going to be Jamison Rich and Mason Setting. Row 2 is going to be Corey Stansel and Big Mike. Row 3 will be James Gray and Aaron Rogieux. Row 4 will be Braden Tuttle and James Braswell Jr. Row 5 will be Nathan Voss and Jared Helms. Row 6 is going to be Jason Smith and Lizzie Smith. And I believe we have one driver back there in row 7. It is Blaze Baker. Lap distance in our C main here tonight. Like Tim said, you got to be in the top 5 to tag the back of tonight's B main. Pace truck begins to roll. Looks like 12 cars strong. Lizzie Smith not making the call here, so 12 cars vying for the top 5. They've got 10 laps to do it. If you're Jamison Rich, Mason Setting, Corey Stansel, you just want to stay right where you are. But if your drivers like Nathan Voss, Jared Helms, Jason Smith, Blaze Baker, you've got to press and move forward as quickly as you can. Pace truck heading for pit lane. Green flag is out. We are underway. 10 laps the distance. Jamison Rich using the inside. Mason Setting up on the outside, trying to get the momentum going, but Jamison Rich had a good run off of the bottom through 1 and 2. Mason Setting may have brushed the wall there just a little bit as lap 1 is in the books, and we've got a couple tangled up back there in 3 and 4. The green flag remains out for now. Those 2 cars have gotten back going.
Side note, the 94, he had trouble. He lost a ton of spots. He went from I think somewhere in the top 5. He's all the way down into possibly 8th right now. I think he just completed a pass.
Yep, 7th for Aaron Roju.
And he is looking to get back in the transfer spot. I believe he was already there.
And look at the big move for Blaze Baker as he tried to slide job on that 84 of Tuttle. It stuck and marked Blaze Baker in the 5th spot for an out. Up front, our top 4 are looking pretty racy. James Braswell, Jamison Rich now side by side for the 2nd spot. Braswell using the outside prevails, puts him into the 2nd spot. +6 already in this one. Braswell looking for the lead here through 3 and 4. A big time slide job. Mason Setting going to try to cross over. Nothing doing there. So James Braswell to the lead. Mason Setting 2nd. Jamison Rich 3rd. 4th is held by Corey Stansel, and Blaze Baker has moved into the top 5. That would be your transferees. Jason Smith, Aaron Roju, and who is that up in the outside wall? Braden Tuttle with an issue. I think he has to tow to the back to the pit area as he had heavy contact with that outside wall. James Braswell across the line, 2 laps to go.
Looked like Braden Tuttle, all F4. That's great sportsmanship out of him. He's got out of the way quickly.
The white flag is out, Tim.
Yep.
James Braswell. What a run for this C-Main for him. All the way up to the lead, +7 spots. He's going to come across the line and take the win in the C-Main. Mason Setting, Jamison Rich, Corey Stansel, and Blaze Baker. We'll move on to tonight's B-Main. Jason Smith, Aaron Roju, James Gray, Jared Helms, Braden Tuttle, Big Mike, Nathan Voss. All will go home here tonight. So we move 5 drivers on to tag the back of tonight's B-Main. Starting the lineup here for our B-Main will be Mason Martinez and Coy Velez. Row 2 is going to be Jarrett Murphy and Dawson Fletcher. Row 3 is going to be Dylan Gibbs and Matt George. Row 4 will be Travis Anderson and Kanan Cochran. Row number 5 is going to be Brent Pryor and James Braswell Jr. Row 6 is going to be Mason Setting and Jamison Rich. Row number 7 is going to be Corey Stansel and Blaze Baker. Remember, those back 5 starters were the cars from our C-Main here tonight. 12 laps the distance in our B-Main, and we are taking
8
We're cars.
8 to the feature.
That's a pretty good number. I mean, if you think about it, if you're Braswell that just came from the C-Main, all you have to do is pick up maybe a couple spots here, and you'll be racing in the feature in just a little while. So it is viable. Top 8 spots, that will give us a 20-car starting field. Tim, you could do the magic, get us kicking off here in our B-Main.
Boy, I would love to. Is we're going to have Cody Viles lead the rest of the B main field through 3 and 4 as he's firing off. The pace truck barely just now gets out of the way. We have a wreck towards the back. He did not bring out the yellow as we're beating and banging for 5th on back.
Absolutely, it's a harness. As Jamison Rich was part of the scuffle there to start RB main, and he had to tow into the pit area, so unfortunate for his night. It looks like he's not going to be able to transfer into the A main, and they are 3-4 wide back here inside of the top 8, right at the top 8 position. Man, they're 3 wide again. A couple of them was beating and banging through 3 and 4. Holding on to the 8th spot for now is Travis Anderson in the 45, and he's got a group of cars right there looking hungry behind him. James Braswell, he's already made his way into the transfer spot, as well as Blaze Baker, who's now throwing a big-time slider on Travis Anderson. Anderson turning back underneath of him into turn 1 and 2, throwing a slider of his own to get back into the 8th spot. 3 wide and more contact down the back straightaway.
There's so much going on, we can't even keep up. They're beating and banging behind them.
I know it.
The transfer spot. They're still 3 wide for the transfer spot. They're 3 wide up for 2nd place. They were for a slight moment. It says going battle for 3rd. That will be Dylan Gibbs and Dawson Fletcher in the 71.
Absolutely. Awesome battling all throughout the field here tonight. Oh my goodness. Big crash back here between the 50 of Brent Pryor and Matt George in the 23. We're still under green flag conditions as they have cleared the racetrack. The leader's going to come across the line there. 4 laps to go. Updated top 8. Coy Vlies, Mason Martinez, Dawson Fletcher, Dylan Gibbs, Jarrett Murphy, James Braswell, Kanan Cochran, and Travis Anderson holds the spot, but you got Blaze Baker looking to take it away as he is right there.
Yeah, he's all over the rear end of that 45 machine of Travis Anderson, just looking to just hold on for the rest of this lap. Oh, two more laps, I apologize.
Absolutely, there's 2 more to go. Blaze Baker, slide job, cross the nose of Anderson, crossover move, back into the 8th spot. White flag is out for Coy Vlies out front. He's got a couple car lengths advantage, folks. We're going to keep an eye on the battle for the transfer spot as they are still side by side out of turn 2 down the back straightaway for the final time. Anderson trying to dive down on the inside. It's going to be a drag race to the line. Who's going to get it? Blaze Baker holds on for the final transfer spot in the 8th position. Coy Vlies, congratulations. He won the B main. Mason Martinez, Dawson Fletcher was your top 3. And what a race, Tim, we just had for the transfer in our B main.
Yeah, these boys, I tell you what, these boys wanted it. They wanted to be in the show. And it's a heartbreak for the drivers that didn't make it.
Absolutely. I mean, it looked like each and every driver here tonight was putting on as best a show as we could have asked for. 3 minutes on the clock for our warm-up session here tonight. We're going to step aside, folks, for a couple seconds and get a word from our sponsors over at Premier Racing Setups. We're going to pick this thing back up for the start of our feature event. We'll be right back. All right, everybody, welcome back in here. We're going to take a look at the starting lineup here tonight for our A main. On the front row, on the inside, is going to be Kyle Hardy in the 27 machine and Lucas Rourke in the 5. Row number 2 is going to be Braden Carter and Carson Rourke. Row number 3 is going to be Ryan Hodge and Chase Hardy. Row 4 is going to be Michael Carter and Trent Dalton. Row 5 is going to be Gavin Gravitt and Joseph Grandy. Row 6 is going to be Joseph Kunstbeck and Calvin Crawley. Row number 7 is going to be Coy Vlies and Mason Martinez. Row 8, Dawson Fletcher and Dylan Gibbs. Row number 9 is going to be Jarrett Murphy and James Braswell. Row 10 is going to be Kanan Cochran and Blaze Baker. That's your 20-car starting field here tonight. This is the part of the night we always pick our drivers to watch. Tim, start things off with you. Who are you going to have your eye on?
Hey, you know what? I'm going to keep my eye on that 5 machine of Braden Carter. He's listed as the 005. Who are you going to have your eye on?
I like that pick. I think I'm going to be keeping my eye on James Braswell Jr. Had to come through the soup, through the C and the B. Now he's starting the A main and back there in, looks like the 18th position. So I've got my eye on James Braswell here tonight. Folks at home, let us know who you're pulling for. We'll always enjoy seeing those messages come across the screen. Those were our drivers to watch. Let us know yours. Kyle Hardy gets it underway. Green flag in here. We're ready to rock and roll at the Cedar Lake Speedway for 40 laps here tonight. Oh my goodness, we got one around back there. That's the 518 machine of Joseph Grandy. Somehow, some way, Tim, we stay under green as he got the ship righted. And I don't know how everybody was able to work around, but they did, and we are still green here.
I tell you what, they didn't lose that much time to the rest of the field. I mean, they're behind the 8 ball for sure, but they didn't lose a ton. I thought.
No, I don't think they did. Picking up things back up front. Kyle Hardy still leads the way. Lucas Rourke, Braden Carter second and third. Braden Carter looking to the inside as the yellow flag gets displayed for the first time here tonight. Go back and take a look and see what happened. Wow, as we pick up things here, they are 3 wide getting into turn 1. Look at the 71 machine of Dawson Fletcher up there on the outside. Looks like some contact getting down the back straightaway, and maybe some right front suspension damage to the 71 of Fletcher. He runs into the outside wall. Oh, does he get tagged just a little bit? Brought the car to a stop. And then started going again. And I believe that was enough for race control to throw the yellow flag. Yeah, heavy damage to the right front on Dawson Fletcher's machine. He had to take it back to the work area to the attention of his crew. All right, looks like Dawson Fletcher was able to visit the pit area. James Braswell as well. Both went down into the work areas and have rejoined the field. Lights are out on the pace truck. Kyle Hardy, Lucas Rourke on the front row. We are ready for the restart. We are back underway. A little bit of a stack up on the outside there between Chase Hardy. I believe Trent Dalton was getting jumbled up there as it is very tight quarters. 3-4 wide now into turn number 1. Here inside of the top 10, there is battles all over the racetrack. I don't know how there wasn't a mix-up there into turn 1, but they all were able to continue going straight. A little more contact there, but nothing too major. Up front, Kyle Hardy trying to separate from the rest of the field out to 0.4 of a second with Lucas Rourke behind him, and then you got Braden Carter and Michael Carter, the father-son duo in third and fourth. And then Trent Dalton, who just is having some connection issues. He has returned there in the 2 machine. And then side by side is going to be Ryan Hodge and Carson Rourke. Single file for the first 10 or so, and then we got side by side the 66 of Joshua Kunspek and Gavin Gravitt. Gravitt with a big time slide job through 3 and 4. Kunspek crosses back underneath of him, running the low line to try to take that spot back, and will do so out of turn 2 here. Up ahead a little further, you got Dylan Gibbs, Coy Vlies side by side. Gibbs on the inside, Vlies working the middle part of the racetrack. Gibbs takes the spot for now, puts him into the 9th spot. Then right in front of them two, Rourke took a peek to the inside of Ryan Hodge and had to settle back in line 4 now.
We have a big battle brewing for the lead as Kyle Hardy elects to stay to the outside. Crossovers being made, slide jobs being made, back and forth. One end of the track, I can show you how to slide job.
Absolutely.
The other side, I can show you how to crossover. Which one is going to prevail?
Absolutely. Kyle Hardy, Lucas Rourke going after it. Braden Carter, Michael Carter still running in the 3rd and 4th spot. Braden up on the outside, Michael working the middle. Then you have Ryan Hodge in the 5th spot. Then Carson Rourke, Trent Dalton, Dylan Gibbs, Coy Vlies, and Chase Hardy. It's kind of a big bunch of a group of cars there from about 5th back to 10th. Then a little bit of a gap, Gavin Gravitt, Mason Martinez, and then they're side by side for the 13th spot. Joseph Grandy, Calvin Crawley, side by side there as well. Up front, Tim, this battle still continuing to rage on between Kyle Hardy and Lucas Rourke.
Yeah, they are. They're trying to one-up each other on each end of the track, and right now, Lucas Rourke is getting the better of Kyle Hardy. Kyle Hardy looking to chase him back down, as so is the Carter family, I should say.
Yeah, absolutely. Lucas Rourke, though, put a little bit of a distance between himself and Kyle Hardy, though, now, as there's a half a second difference between those two. And then another half second back to Braden Carter and Michael Carter in 3rd and 4th. Ryan Hodge trying to give chase to the top 4. He's in position 5, looking down on the inside here in turn 1. Dylan Gibbs, Trent Dalton, there was a little bit of contact between those two in 1 and 2. Gibbs working the middle, Trent Dalton working the bottom. Look now, Coy Vlies, as Trent Dalton slid up a little bit. Vlies takes a peek to the inside of him, 3 wide, 4 a little bit down the back straightaway. Oh, be careful, Vlies jumped over those tires down there on the inside. Got to be careful, the car gets really upset when you do that.
Oh, we got a pile up in turn 4.
Oh man, yellow flag displayed here, second caution of the night. Go back and take a look at this. Like you said, kind of a little bit of a pile up there. Keep an eye on Jarrett Murphy. They're in that green and black 5 machine. Oh, the 21 was up in the outside wall and turned his car down across the racetrack in front of the 5. Blaze Baker gets collected in that. James Braswell gets collected in that. Dawson Fletcher.
Oh, my.
Good job missing. Or at least heads up driving from him to hit the brakes and try to avoid that. A 33 machine as well for getting the car woed up. But the 21 machine there, the car cut across the racetrack and caused the big pile up there in 3 and 4. let's see, as the field looks like they're going to be stacking it back up for the restart. Lucas Rourke, Kyle Hardy still on row 1, and then Braden and Michael Carter row 2. Carson Rourke and Ryan Hodge will be row 3. Lucas Rourke steps on the gas. Good restart for the entire field. Kyle Hardy looking to cross him over through 1 and 2 and slide up. They're going to be dead even down the back straightaway here. Oh my goodness, that's a big stack up. Ryan Hodge had picked up a couple spots, and we have calamity on the front straightaway. Quite a few cars involved, and Lucas Rourke went from leading, and he's going to have to bring the car into the work area. Now, after this latest accident, we're going to have to really slow things down and really decipher exactly what happened here out of turn number 4. Hodge was coming up the racetrack. Rourke was coming off of the outside wall after making contact. And Hodge spins Rourke around. Braden Carter gets turned by his dad, Michael, trying to avoid the accident. Michael goes for a spin from the 17 of Lies. Hodge still trying to make his way through as he made contact with Braden. There's Brent Carter in the 2. The 05, the 99, the 77, all contact there. You know, relatively, besides for Carson Rourke, who got completely turned around, everybody was still going straight. Ryan Hodge making more contact with those tractor tires into turn 1. So unfortunate there for those guys. We'll hope to get back and rejoin the field. Looks like Lucas Rourke has rejoined the field, but at the tail. Kyle Hardy, Michael Carter now runs in the 2nd spot. Then you have Dylan Gibbs in position number 3. And let's say this, plus 13 so far in our A main. So what a run so far from Dylan Gibbs in that 6 machine. Coy Velage, then Chase Hardy, Joseph Grandy, Calvin Crawley. Braden Carter also had to visit the pit area. He's back in the 13th spot. Trent Dalton 14th. Lucas Rourke 15th. Mason Martinez scored in the 16th spot.
Yeah, there's still a couple cars out here. I noticed Michael Carter, as he came by the front stretch, his right front was all torn up. Pushed in, a bunch of damage to it. I wonder if it's going to help him through the turn. I mean, it kind of looks like the right front is pointed right.
Yeah, definitely some nose damage on Michael's machine. He's on the outside of the front row. Kyle Hardy in control of the field. Back underway for the restart. Hardy with a good start. Dylan Gibbs trying to follow him through. Michael Carter goes all the way to the outside. They're 3 wide for a moment. Michael Carter loses the 2nd spot and might be in jeopardy of losing 3rd and 4th. As Dylan Gibbs, he's going to be looking to the inside of Kyle Hardy into turn number 1. We cross the line, 26 laps complete.
What a drive for Dylan Gibbs. You just set it under the yellow. He's moved all the way up. 16th to 2nd. Hard charging and looking to possibly play spoiler.
Absolutely. Update on Michael Carter in the 15 machine. Sliding back, the damage has taken its toll on his machine as he must be down on power just a little bit, and the field's working their way by on the inside. Unfortunate for Michael. Braden going to be looking to go around the outside here. Back up front, Dylan Gibbs, Kyle Hardy still side by side. Gibbs working the inside, Kyle Hardy working the outside. Then you have Chase Hardy following close behind in the 3rd spot, and Joseph Grandy in 4th. 10 to go, Tim.
Got 10 to go, and we're battling everywhere. We got a battle for the lead. possibly between three separate cars as Chase Hardy's looking to get back up there, and you're gonna also have Dylan Gibbs and Kyle Hardy. Also, more Hardys. I wonder if those two are related by any chance as well.
I'd say there's a very good chance of it, as the top three are now all running a similar line, and then you look at Joseph Grandy is running a little bit different line, and then you got James Braswell now into the top five in his machine. Joshua Kunstbeck, Coy Vlies, 6th and 7th as they are side by side. Then right behind them is Braden Carter in the 8th spot. One car around. I believe that's Michael Carter. We're going to remain under the green flag as he has towed to the pit lane to clear the racetrack. 5 laps to go this time. What does Dylan Gibbs have in store, if anything, for Kyle Hardy in that 27 machine? Takes a peek to the inside once again and is going to follow through 3 and 4.
Dylan Gibbs gets a pretty good run through the exit of the turns. Just nowhere to go is that Kyle Hardy 99 machine is just making his car as wide as possible right now.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness, one car was up in the air into the pit areas, but we're going to stay green. I just caught that at the top of the camera view there. Our top three, right nose to tail now as Chase Hardy closes up right on the bumper of Dylan Gibbs. Flagman waving that white flag one more time around the Cedar Lake Speedway. Remember, $30 on the line. Kyle Hardy has the top spot for now. Does Dylan Gibbs try anything through 3 and 4? Hardy with that defensive line, not going to allow Gibbs to try anything. Checker flag waving. Kyle Hardy wins round number 2 of the Lovejoy Speed Series and takes home $30 here tonight. Dylan Gibbs, the 2nd spot, but a fantastic run, plus 14, and then Joseph Grandy rounds out the podium in that 518 machine. Wow, what a run there for our top 3. Congratulations to Kyle Hardy winning here tonight. And like I said, a fantastic run from Gibbs in the 6th machine. Our top 3 will stop on the front straightaway here. This is the official final results from the Cedar Lake Speedway. We talked about our top 3. Chase Hardy comes home in the 4th spot. Then James Braswell will be position 5. Joshua Kunstbeck in the 6th. Lucas Work rebounds to the 7th spot. Braden Carter rebounds to the 8th spot. Coy Vlies will be 9th. Carson Work 10th. Trent Dalton 11th. Kanan Cochran 12th. Calvin Crawley 13th. Michael Carter 14th. Dawson Fletcher 15th. Gavin Gravitt 16th. Ryan Hodge will be 17th. Blaze Baker will be 18th. 19th is going to go to Mason Martinez, and 20th to Jarrett Murphy. If we can, we are going to try to talk to our top 3 here tonight. Hopefully start things off with our 3rd place finisher, Joseph Grandy. He is available. Hey, Joseph, it's Tyler and Tim up in the broadcast booth. Do you got a copy?
Yeah, what's going on?
All right, man, a top 3 finish for you here tonight. Had to work your way up a little bit as you were plus 7 on the night, 10th to 3rd, so a solid run for you. Where did you find was the best place to pass around Cedar Lake? Up high, down low? It seemed like as the run went on, you were more so using the bottom part of the racetrack to make your moves.
Yeah, well, first lap I got turned sideways there. I think I got shuffled back to like 17th or 18th. So just played patient, save my tires, let the cautions happen, and last 15 or so let it rip. But yeah, I tried the bottom, and it seemed to be moving faster along than the people using the middle or top. So just stayed there and tried to be consistent.
Yeah, absolutely, Joseph. Tim, do you have anything for Joseph?
Yeah, with it being almost like a minefield tonight, as you said, what was so key to avoiding the wrecks? What were you doing to anticipate?
Not race super hard. Pay attention in front of me, and it's really all you can do, and hope the car in front of you isn't the one that's messing up.
Yeah, for sure, Joseph. There was action all up and down the grid, and you were able to find yourself working through the field for a top 3 tonight. Before we let you go, anybody you need to thank?
Yeah, Catalytic Recovery, all the guys over at Inferno, Elite Performance, Mad Rabbit, Hinkle Homes, D&T Designs, my girlfriend Olivia. Appreciate you guys for doing the broadcast.
Absolutely. We certainly appreciate the kind words, Joseph. I'll let you celebrate the top 3 finish here tonight.
Thanks, man.
All right, that was our 3rd place finisher here tonight, Joseph Grandy. I don't see our 2nd place finisher, Dylan Gibbs, just yet, but I do see our race winner available to talk to. We'll get a word in with him. Kyle Hardy, it's Tyler and Tim up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. You started right there where you finished in the first spot. You take home $30 to win here tonight and win at the Cedar Lake Speedway. How did the night culminate together? You had a, good heat and a great run through the feature. You had to battle Lucas Rourke quite a bit there. You guys were throwing slider for slider at one point, and then Dylan Gibbs charging up through the field to finish 2nd and had to fend off him at the end. Man, what was it like?
Yeah, it was for the feature, to say at least. I mean, it was a great race. Hate our teammates got tangled up there, got tore up, but me and Lucas was sliding each other, and I think they were saying yellow or crashing or something, and I kind of hesitated my slider a little bit, and I guess it went across his nose, and then which he seemed like he was okay with it, and then somebody clobbered him in the left rear, and it just caused chaos from there. But luckily, me and Dylan have had some run-ins together, and it seems like I know he can race clean, and I can too. So I'm just glad that me and Dylan could race fair and square there, and I'm sure we'll have more battles to come. And just lucked in there to the heat race where we ran 2nd, and they inverted. Definitely got lucky there, but was able to stay out of trouble, keep the car clean, and I guess have a decent run out of it.
Absolutely. Staying out of trouble for sure was the key here tonight. Tim,
Yes,
do you have
sir.
anything?
Yeah, what was throwing the sliders? How difficult is it to judge where you think you're gonna be to the guy ahead of you? I noticed that some of you guys, not you in particular, uh, some of the people throughout the field were just throwing them to throw them. It seemed like, and 99% of the time it worked.
Well, that's the problem is you got some guys that just throws them and doesn't really know what is going to come after that. You get to racing up in the top 5 or 6 cars that everybody seems to race with pretty good class, and for the most part they know how to race, but you have to know where you put your car, and um, I try to leave people a lot of room, and I run the middle of the bottom a lot of times, but seemed like we had to get to the top here and protect, which I'm not really good at. But as I said, Dylan raced me clean, and the guys up front kind of knew how to slide. It's just unfortunate that Lucas got taken out by somebody that I don't think they kind of knew. I don't. You just have to know that Lucas is coming down across the track, and you have to know where your car is going to end up. And you see that a lot on here, but on the game in general, not. Seems like a pretty good league, a lot of fun, and see you next time.
Yeah, for sure, Kyle. I mean, before we let you go, anybody you need to thank here tonight?
Yeah, just thank Michael and Braden and everybody for letting me be on their team, and um, the league for giving us a good race. I guess $30 to win, that was pretty cool. I didn't really know that until about halfway through, and um, yeah, you guys for making it seem like it's a real event, and um, good rules. Pretty cool.
Absolutely, Kyle. Well, again, big congratulations on the victory here tonight at the Cedar Lake Speedway in the Lovejoy Speed Series. We'll let you celebrate it.
I appreciate it. You guys take care.
You as well. All right, that's going to conclude. It looks like our interview portion of tonight is unfortunately not seeing Dylan Gibbs able to speak for his interview. Maybe we'll talk to him another time. But again, congratulations to everybody in the field. Fantastic racing tonight, Tim. We've seen action all over the Cedar Lake Speedway.
Yeah, fantastic race. Awesome battles everywhere. Rough battles. You don't see that enough. I feel like in the sim, everyone is usually extremely cautious. Uh, I want to see those elbows get out there, and they certainly showed that tonight, and I can't wait for next week.
Absolutely. And again, big thanks to Southern Racing Association for having us broadcast these events. So happy to be along for the ride and bring the action to you guys at home here on the Buckeye Racing Network. Again, a fantastic night of racing, and we'll pick things up next week. We'll be live at about 8:35 Eastern Time next Tuesday night. Upcoming for us on the Buckeye Racing Network. The next show will be on Sunday night. We got the League of Outlaws in the next race of their IMCA style modified division. Right about 9:15 Eastern Time Sunday night, we'll be live. Again, folks, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button so you know each and every time we go live right here on the Buckeye Racing Network. But that's going to do it for Tim and I here tonight from the Cedar Lake Speedway. Take care, everybody. Good night.